movement or awareness does your team have to hit that number?
Yeah, I mean, these last two games, I think, are a really good indicator of what our team can look like. With Klay back and everybody healthy for the most part. In terms of our shooters, our floor spacers. Obviously, with Draymond out, it's a huge adjustment to make. But these last couple of games with the spacing that we've had and the ball movement, we've gotten great shots. And we're not going to make 21 for 36 most nights, but we did generate a lot of good ones. And then we had some lucky ones too, that kind of Jordan had a wild one and Steph had a couple wild ones. So we got to get better though. I feel like, we are right now wildly entertaining, and I just want to be entertaining. I don't want to be wildly entertaining. Right now we're too wild. We made, 7 to 10 insane plays that are going to get us beat in a big game against a good team. So we've got to get better.
You played Kuminga and Belly with Klay, Steph, and Jordan early in the second. What did you like with that group in particular?
Well, it's a good combination because you've got the playmaking of Belly and the athleticism of Kuminga, and then we've got shooting around those guys. And the last couple of games we've gone to that. It's a nice offensive combination, especially. And JK gives us a guy who can match up with really any position. We put him on Towns tonight, which was a great experience for him. Towns had an amazing game and got Loon in foul trouble. And we decided let's give JK the experience because he can guard, we think 1 through 5, but right now we're trying to bring him along and he's done a nice job with that unit you mentioned.
Steve, Steph was sounding pretty determined to kind of shoot himself out of this, whatever you want to call maybe a minor shooting slump. Do you feel like a game like this can just kind of get him right back to knocking him down from half court?
I haven't worried about Steph in the last month, and I have no idea what'll happen on Saturday. I just know that Steph Curry is one of the best players in the league, and he's going to make a whole bunch of 3-pointers the rest of the year, and he'll have some great games, and he'll have some games where he doesn't shoot as well. And in the meantime, he's going to impact the game in a dozen other ways. So I don't think about it much.
Steve, you guys made a halftime adjustment on Cat. What led to that?
Well, the fact that he torched us in the first half was what went into that. So we had no choice really. Looney with 4 fouls at half. In order to keep him on the floor, we needed to send a double, and we did a good job with it. They missed some open threes, so we got a little bit lucky with it too. But the third quarter defense was excellent. I thought that was the key point of the game.
Is that something you'll have to do against scoring centers with Draymond out?
Not often. I don't know that we've double teamed more than 3 or 4 players down on the block all year, and Towns just happens to be an all-star who is really a handful down there. But again, there aren't a lot of those guys in the league, so you have to be prepared for it, and we work on that stuff in practice. Mike Brown's done a great job preparing our team night in and night out defensively, and so we had worked on that this week in practice, and the guys executed it pretty well.
What are the keys from going from wildly entertaining just to simply entertaining?
It's just decision making. We had some really big turnovers down the stretch that were completely unnecessary. So we've got to figure out that we can still be entertaining and put on a good show without some of the bad decisions, the poor decisions with the ball. The ball is everything. You're up 10 with 2 minutes left. the only thing that matters is taking care of the ball. Because as soon as you turn it over, you're in transition defensively and you're in trouble. And so it's all decision making, and we're just going to have to keep pounding that home, and our guys will respond. I have no doubt. They've won championships. They understand the value of every possession in a playoff game. But there's a show going on out there too that they really enjoy, and I'm all for that as long as they make good decisions along with it.
Wiggins' numbers from the left corner are crazy this year. Is that something you guys noticed, have talked about? Is there a reason you think that he's just really good from there?
He's pretty much his whole career he's operated from that corner. Minnesota, when they had him, ran a ton of DHOs out of the corner so he could get downhill to his right hand. So we did the same thing as soon as we got him. I didn't know he was going to become this kind of 3-point shooter. He's just worked really, really hard to get to that point. But that's kind of his sweet spot on the floor. So, we try to put him there as often as we can. Sometimes he just gravitates to that spot. But yeah, I've seen the numbers. They are outrageous.
You just talk about the turnovers, no turnovers from Wiggins. I mean, how impressive have you been with his decision-making, the efficiency, and what do you think's kind of led to that?
Well, he's number one, he's just a really good player. He does a lot of different things. He defends well. He's not a guy who has to dominate the ball. He took 13 shots tonight for an all-star player. That's not a lot. So he's content with his role, and he understands the game. He understands the value of the ball, and he understands, I think, how to play with Steph. And now he's learning to play with Klay, and that's a big part of playing for this team. It's a different experience with all the movement and the relocation and everything that Steph and Klay do, and Wiggs has handled that beautifully.
Yeah, there was actually even a time where it looked like Klay and Steph almost ran into each other in the paint there. They're both cutting.
Yeah.
Are they even kind of getting used to playing with each other again a little bit?
I think so. 2.5 years is a long time, and the teammates around them have changed, and we're running some different stuff now compared to then. And I do think it'll take some time, but Klay, I thought he was great against Dallas the other night, and tonight he was even better. So he's adapting quickly, and I loved his drive and kicks. He made some excellent passes himself. So it's fun to see Klay and Steph back together, and it's really fun to see Wiggs playing with them. I think he complements them really well. Thanks.
Andrew, Steve was just saying how much fun it is to see Klay and Steph back together, but also those two and you, and just how fun it is to see you guys clicking. How does it feel out there as Klay keeps getting more games in and you guys get used to each other?
It's fun. It's fun playing with those guys. They're special. The NBA has never seen people that can shoot like them. I'm playing alongside of them. It's like I said, just fun. You never know what's going to happen. What type of crazy shots they're going to make, and the energy they bring to the team and the energy they bring to the building, the arena. Everyone just feeds off them, and from there we get going.
How was your afternoon?
Man, it was mind blowing. I was taking my little pregame nap, and my daughter, just woke me up and said, "You're a starter, you're a starter." And I thought I was dreaming for a second. I was like, "What's going on?" But it was a good way to, learn that I made an all-star, and I'm thankful. I've been putting in a lot of work, and I found a home here, and hopefully I can keep it going. Hopefully it's not the last one. Hopefully we keep going this year. We win a title. That's the next step.
Were you expecting starter as a possibility? I mean, I know,
Man, I didn't know what to happen. I didn't know what was going to happen. But these last couple of days, I've been thinking, just hopefully I make it. It's hoping, and to hear my name is a relief. And like I said, I'm just thankful for real.
Steve called it one of his proudest moments as a coach earlier today. I mean, what's the reception been like from your teammates, and just kind of that word proud? What does that mean to you to hear that from your coach?
Oh, it means a lot. It means a lot. This organization, the culture here, everyone here, they have accomplished so much. So, to hear that, it means a lot.
You say that you found a home here. What works so well with you and the Warriors? Has this become your home? So obviously?
I feel like it's a good fit. The style of play complements my game, and we're like a family here. Everyone looks out for each other. We all want each other's best interest. We all want to see each other succeed and do well. And the energy is just so positive. It's a vibe that I feel like everybody wants to be a part of. It's special.
We've heard a lot about how, playing alongside Steph can be tricky to figure out or adjust to, and same with Klay, but you have taken to it very well. What goes into learning how to play alongside those guys, or what's different that you have to do versus playing next to other guards?
I feel like it makes the game easier, for real. I feel like it's hard to not, how do I put this? It's hard.
It's okay.
It's hard to not like to play with Steph and Klay. Like, all the open shots you get, the space you get, and just playing with them. Steph's a legend. He's one of the GOATs. So just being on the same floor as them, and like I said, their style of play fits me perfectly. And that's what I feel like. I feel like anyone can play with them. Playing with those guys, Steph, Klay, Draymond, I feel like they'll boost anyone's game, because that's the vibe here, that's the culture here. It's been that way for years now, so I'm happy to be part of it.
Andrew, you spent the better part of 6 years in Minnesota, then you get traded here. Do you remember like what you thought or how you processed it when you came here? It obviously worked out, but at the time, how did you feel about it?
Man, I was ready for a new chapter. I feel like we both, reached our limits, and I feel like the trade worked out, for both parties, both teams. They got D'Lo, he was all-star. He's nice, and me and JK are here. I feel like it worked out for both teams.
Hey, Andrew, Kat was just saying that he would have voted for you too. He's happy that you've had so much success here. What does that mean, hearing from him, especially given the way that things ended in Minnesota?
Yeah, no, it means a lot. Kat's a good guy. He's my fan. He's a good guy. And, I'm sure I'm going to see him there in Cleveland too. So it'll be good to catch up.
Kind of building off that, at least a half dozen Timberwolves players came up to you after the game at midcourt. What did it mean, getting that kind of respect from your former team on a night where, probably your biggest individual achievement of your career?
Yeah, it's all love. When I was over there, those guys, they were like brothers to me. We battled together, off the court. We were all cool. They respect me, I respect them, and to see them grow, when I was over there, they were rookies, to see them blossoming and doing what they're doing now. I'm proud of those guys. They came a long way, and they're hooping.
So Andrew, were you fully out snoring, full on nap, or did she have to wake you up?
I was out, and I heard them creep through the door, and I'm a light sleeper, so I woke up right away.
Andrew, has the irony hit you yet that your first All-Star game is in Cleveland?
Yeah, man, full circle. And it feels good. No better way than to have my first All-Star than where it all started.
All right, couple on Zoom here. Let's go to Justin. Go ahead, answer the question.
Hi, Andrew. Many highlight how you've really honed in on becoming an efficient scorer and elite defender ever since coming to Golden State. Yet what stands out to me is your underrated playmaking ability. For example, even when you had decent looks yourself, you created better shots and made 2 crucial assists in the fourth to both Klay and Kevon. Is this something that you feel like has improved since coming to the Warriors, or a skill set you didn't get to utilize as much in the past? Also, congrats on the All-Star appearance. You got me
Thank
dinner,
you.
so thank you. You got me dinner, so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, I'm getting older. I feel like I'm a smarter basketball player than I was before, just trying to eliminate more of the bad shots and taking more of the good shots, you know, shots that suit me. And defense, I feel like gets me going. You know, I love defense. It's a competitive spirit to me. It's just, I love guarding the other team's best player. I take on the challenge. I love the challenge. And I don't remember the rest of the questions you asked. There's a lot.
Oh, sorry. It was about the facilitating, like whether it was a skill set that you had in the past or you didn't get to utilize as much in the past, or something that has improved since coming to the Warriors.
I feel like I've always been, you know, a decent passer, been able to create for others.
How much you like that left corner?
I like it. That's my hot corner, right? Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah, no, I like it. You know, I find myself floating there a lot. And I've been knocking it down, so can't complain.
Steve seemed to think part of the reason you're comfortable there, like even back to early Minnesota days, they did a lot of action out of the left corner. You remember that? I mean,
Yeah, a lot of action. You know, that's one of my sweet spots for sure.
Great. Is that it? Cool. For $20, can you name the guy behind you, the former Warrior on the board? $20. You know him well.
Know him well.
You know him well. Minnesota Timberwolves. You got a time. Apparently you have enough money. Jim Peterson.
Oh, that's Jim Peterson? I didn't know.
Watching the All-Star selection show?
I was pregame nap time.
When how'd you find out?
When I woke up, my wife had texted me, and then our group text was going crazy, celebrating Wiggs, his first one. So it's pretty special. Good energy coming into the game tonight, and obviously for him, an amazing accomplishment and all he's been through his career, well deserved. And I know we're all like just crazy excited for him to get his first experience.
Feel a little overshadowed in the moment in the group chat and everything?
Yeah, I think there was like a 30-minute delay before Draymond realized he didn't say congratulations to me. Then I got like a little I think I got like a quick slide on the pregame edit. And they had a whole highlight reel for Wiggs, and then a little splash page came on at the end, like, oh yeah, and congrats, Steph. It's beautiful.
You guys have been pushing him to be an all-star, but not, I mean, you haven't really been pushing him to be an all-star starter. Did that surprise you when you saw that pop up?
I mean, you never know how that stuff goes. Fan vote's awesome. And, you know, I know he benefited from that being out here and the love he got, and then the media and the player vote and all that. So when it all shakes out, like, you feel like the 24 guys that are supposed to be in the game will be there. And, you know, starting is a huge honor and accomplishment. And for him for that to be his first one, he's getting the full experience. But it is part of the whole process of how you know guys are selected. And, you know, we'll see next Thursday, get Draymond in there, see who the other, you know, reserves are, and identify the, you know, the best guys in the league so far.
Steve was just saying how special it is to see you and Klay back together, but also to see Andrew in that mix. How much fun is it for you to see how Andrew's playing alongside Klay right now after they had never had this opportunity?
With Klay, it's easy to play with him because he's obviously an amazing scorer, amazing shooter, demands a lot of attention out there. So the hardest part is just trying to keep things simple, because you can always try to do something like special in every possession, and that's where you get in trouble. And we still have a tendency to do that from time to time, but it's a fun way to play when everybody is a threat. You know, Wiggs stepping up and knocking down is open shots, still being aggressive to get to the basket. But if we can keep things simple across the board, like somebody's gonna be open, and we love any one of us, you know, up and down the roster to take the shots that are open. So it's great to see Klay continue to make strides and find his rhythm, and make his presence felt, and want to keep that going.
Klay is shooting a lot more like off the dribble and pull up threes than catch and shoots, which is kind of his like forte before getting injured. Does it feel a little bit different with those different nuances that he's brought with his game since coming back?
I think a lot of it has to do with how he's been guarded, because, from 2.5 years of being out and how loud his return is, I'm sure there's a lot of game planning on make sure you know where Klay is at all times. So there's got to be bodies on him, and I think early he was being aggressive, trying to find his rhythm and not letting the game come to him. And with that extra attention, like it was just tough to find, good looks. And as he's gotten more comfortable and become more patient, understand how to manage his minutes a little bit better, you've seen the results. So showing the full repertoire of his passing abilities, like you said, being able to, make shots off the dribble, attack, get to the rim, take what the defense is giving him for the most part, and that helps him get into a rhythm.
Was tonight's shooting from everyone just a culmination of everyone figuring out how to play with each other? Obviously, you're still missing Draymond, but you, Klay, Wiggs, Poole, but like all these guys just finally feeling each other out.
Yeah, I think a lot of it too is we've had 2 or 3 games with a consistent rotation, which is helpful. And then again, keeping things simple in terms of how we are creating, our shots and our good looks. Drive and kick, drawing a crowd, find the open guy, making quick decisions, and finding just whoever's open, you pass it. I know Coach talks about it all the time. Over the course of 48 minutes, it usually works. And then, you build confidence from that, as the game goes on. So it's a great way to play when it works. And when it does work, you have, nights like tonight where guys are just stepping into open looks and knocking them down.
Just first off, sharp suit there.
Thank you for your acknowledging the freshness of the vibe. I appreciate it.
When you guys got Wiggins, what did you envision what that fit would be like, and how much has that lined up with what you've seen?
I think with the transition from our finals runs to what we're trying to build now, he fit a specific role at the 3 spot and could be an amazing defender, give us different looks on offense that we necessarily didn't have. And then just allowing him to, I say, take pressure off himself, like in terms of, fitting into how we play and what we do, but also maintaining who he is as an extremely talented, vet at this point. That I think, you looked at his numbers while he was in Minnesota, he was averaging, over 20 and usually pretty efficient. So if he could find a way to elevate his defensive presence, and then play off of me, Draymond, now Klay, and the rest of our guys, like, we would try to make the game easy for him, and then, he does what he does. So it's just a matter of him buying into that process, staying consistent, and he's gotten better every single opportunity since he's been here. And he obviously has a new accomplishment to show for it.
You've played against Wiggins and now obviously with him. You were just talking about his time in Minnesota. Is there any part of you that's kind of surprised that it's his first time as an All-Star? And was there any talk about that with him before the season at all?
No, you realize how hard it is to do that. Like, that's why I don't ever take it for granted. You have to have an amazing individual year. You got to be in the right situation. You kind of have to impact winning. Like, it's really competitive at every position, and especially in both conferences to make, that list. So you look at some of the guys that have at his position that have been there, year after year after year, it's stiff competition. And for him to now, crack through that threshold is pretty awesome. And to do it in a Warrior uniform and be a part of our culture, our DNA. And represent what we do in Cleveland, where he got drafted, and now full circle moment. It's pretty awesome.
Steph, do you think Draymond forgot to congratulate you because he was relishing in his new TV gig that he landed today?
Possibly. He's probably going over his scripts and getting ready for a shine. Apparently, we got the same memo of our dress code. So, yeah, he's fit for that role. I know it's amazing that he's breaking barriers in terms of as an active player, filling a broadcast role. I'm sure he'll find the right balance to it, like he always does, and maintain the priority of playing basketball. But it's pretty dope that he's finding new ways to express himself.
Steph, there was a moment, I think maybe first quarter, where you hit a three and it looked like you got on the horse. Was that the sign you were feeling normal, feeling like yourself shooting the ball?
Just having fun with myself, even when obviously now I've been shooting and trying to stay confident, keep taking shots that I feel like I can make. And when a couple go down early, it's a good feeling. You want to kind of ride that energy, ride that wave. And for me, like, it's the balance of maintaining who I am on the court and how I enjoy the game, even when things aren't going your way. That joy has to maintain, because I think everybody feeds off of it. So that's the temptation I was talking about a couple of games ago. If I'm in my feelings and thinking about my shot and all that type of stuff, it takes away from everything else that we do and that I can do to help impact winning, even if I'm not, shooting the ball. So when you do make something, you got to have some fun with it.
You guys had Cat had 23 in the first half. Third quarter, you guys came out with some aggressive doubles, got the ball out of his hands. He had 5 points in the quarter, 8 points in the second half. How important was that? Because you guys were down 4 and at half, you were up 14 at the end of 3. How important was that little adjustment?
It was big. I think anytime you go in a game with a guy with his caliber of talent and the way he can score and put pressure on the paint, and he obviously looms in foul trouble, some tough calls, and he took advantage of that. You play that balance of, if he's going off and scoring, like, make sure everybody else is limited, and we weren't doing a good job of that either. We're giving up open threes. We had some turnovers that turned into transition for them. So you can't give up everything, and then I think it activated our defense to know we can fly around. Like, obviously, we want to take Cat out of it, but it helped us get more engaged on everybody, because you have to be on alert. If you're going to trap, everybody has to be in the right rotations, and you can only do that if you have good energy. And sometimes you got to switch it up a little bit to kind of get yourself going. So it's kind of shutting him down, but also getting us activated. Do what? That's right, man. Who's that? Oh, I should look behind you. I see that. It's never good when you're the picture of the guy contesting and not getting your own shot. It's Jim Peterson. Yeah, how about that? Like that? Nice, right?
Oh, wow. Jim Peterson. Played with my dad. That's great. He was a Warrior? Yes, he was. Wow. And he had hair. What a legend. Gopher. That's debatable.
We heard the team group chat was going crazy when Wiggins got the All-Star starting spot. What, from your perspective, what was that like?
I told him congrats and said a long time ago we would not be where we're at without his play. So I'm very happy for Andrew, and it's just really cool. He deserves it. I wholeheartedly believe that.
Klay, how special is it to be playing with him after, such a long time? Just you watched him for so long, and you're finally getting to play with him.
I mean, the game comes easy to Andrew. never looks like he's tired or gets tired. And without him, like I said, we would not be where we're at. So I'm excited to watch him and Steph on Sunday in the All-Star game. That's really cool.
But you've been shooting a lot more off the dribble instead of catch and shoot, which is kind of your forte. Are you conscious of that just change in your game? And then also kind of just a weird thought that I had is when you're rehabbing and working so much one on none or one on one, do you think that that also kind of altered the way that your game is being played right now?
I don't think so. I think I'm a capable shooter off the dribble. I might not do it as often as other guys, but I think I can make any shot on the basketball floor. Now, I will never lose that confidence.
Can you feel it out on the court now? Everyone's starting to gel a little bit more, getting more familiar with each other. You, Andrew, Jordan, just all the guys who you have never played with and haven't played with you.
Oh, yeah. If you thought we were going to play like this my first game back, or the first few, that was maybe I did, and I was a little naive, but we didn't even get to practice much because I was rehabbing the first third of the season, and it's going to get better every night. And when our full squad is back, it's going to be real scary. I'm really excited for that day.
What did you admire most watching Andrew these last couple of years since he joined the Warriors?
His availability. I mean, he's in the lineup every night. I used to be like that, and we'll get back to that point. And Andrew is just an Iron Man of sorts. And his improvement with his shot making, obviously, we all knew how athletic he was, but you can't leave him open on the three because he is a knockdown shooter.
You've played with him, you played against him. Is any part of you surprised that this is his first All-Star game? And you were talking about a shot. Did you kind of talk with him at all about his three-point shot in the off season? Any kind of tips, anything?
I mean, I don't know if I'm surprised, but I know he earned it. The West is so tough. There's so many great players. And he will be an all-star multiple times. This is just the beginning, I feel. And no, I didn't talk to him about his shot. He has a nice shot from a mechanic standpoint, and I'm not going to mess with that. He is shooting lights out, and we need that from him.
Klay, in what ways do you think this team and its culture has been able to bring out the best out of Andrew?
Well, he doesn't have to put the whole team on his shoulders every night like he might have had in the past, and he is such a great two-way player that if his shot might not be there one night, his defense will always be there. And he is also one of the best athletes in the NBA. Combine all those traits, you got an all-star.
What do you think about Draymond Green, TNT broadcaster, mid-career?
It's pretty cool. I mean, Draymond is a very intellectual person, especially when it comes to basketball. And I've learned so much from him. My game has been enhanced because of him. And he's playing chess out there when everyone else is playing checkers. So I am very proud of Draymond, and he's a very well-rounded individual, not just a great basketball player, but the man is, you can tell he been through a lot in his life, and he's just has great character. He's like a brother to me.
All right, go ahead.
I was going to say that you brought the goggles back out tonight. Is that kind of the go-to celebration for you right now?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
Fair enough.
All right, two quick on Zoom, one for Maria and one for Mark Haynes. Go ahead, Maria.
Hi, Klay. Hope you're well. Another great performance for you tonight. What was different today compared to the previous games? And could you possibly share with us that locker room atmosphere with Andrew and also Steph becoming all-star starters?
That's a good question, Maria. I would say I was in a great rhythm tonight from the start. Getting to the rim off a lot of basket cuts. And when you do that, your outside jumper you're at a little more ease when you're shooting the ball. And luckily for me, I came out and hit the first two shots the second half, and really had it going from the 3-ball, and hopefully continue this hot shooting into Saturday, because we're going to need it against a great team.
All right, and Mark, go ahead.
Hey, what's up, Clay? I wanted to take you back a few games when you missed the anniversary of your 37-point quarter. And I just wanted to ask you, what do you remember about that quarter and going into it and everything?
Well, I'll never forget driving down 73rd to the Coliseum. I was listening to the song "Young and Getting It" by Meek Mill and Kirko Bangs, and that third quarter, it was just such a blur. I remember the shots at the end of the quarter the most because I was just hunting them, and especially that pull up on the free throw line. And I don't know, that was a special night. My brothers were in the stands, and for a game in mid-January I remember what Jerry West said after the game too, that he couldn't sleep because it was such an amazing performance. And when you hear something like that from one of the greats, that just gives you a lot of life, especially a lot of confidence on the court. And hopefully I can have a similar performance like that in the future. But that record might stand for a while. That was a very surreal moment for me.
Gibbs isn't really known as a shooter, but he's been shooting really well this season. What have you thought about his shot, just kind of observing it this season?
Well, I've seen Gary work on his shot every day since he came here. So to see it paying off, I mean, he's already so great around the rim, leading the NBA in dunks for guards, and his athleticism is insane. And he's going to be in this league for a long time and be a great player, especially if he's knocking down threes consistently. What a find from our front office. He is such an incredible player. No problem.
Practice tomorrow. Plan on being here at 12.